Hello and welcome to day 17 of Popcorn Horror Fest. Tonight we're watching Cloverfield, which is not technically... Is it a horror or is it a thriller? It's a monster movie, so that kind of makes... They could be horror, right? Anyway, Russ and I have seen this before. We didn't go and see it together. We saw it when it came out because we were both living in New York at the time, and I saw it in New York with a friend and came out, and it was really surreal. It was one of the more weird cinema experiences, and I remember really vividly being like, these are the streets that I've just seen get trashed on screen. Oh my god, this is crazy. Like, it was just really, really odd feeling. But brilliant at the same time. Can't think of a better place to really watch Cloverfield than Manhattan. Yeah, so, and I haven't seen it since, so it'll be interesting to see whether it holds up, because I remember really enjoying it at the time and thinking that actually for a found footage film, which I'm not a huge fan of normally, it was quite good. But let's see with new 2014 eyes whether it still works. Russ is at work, so I'm just waiting for him to get back. I've boiled the kettle. I think I might have a bath actually and wait for him. And yeah, see you soon. So guys, I'm having a bath, and as it's Halloween themed popcorn horror fest, I thought I'd show you the exciting bath I'm about to have, because I went to Lush the other day and got a bit seduced by all their seasonal bath bombs that are in there. And what better to celebrate hashtag popcorn horror fest than... Wait a minute. Oh god, I need to turn the bloody thing round. A sparkly pumpkin bubble bar! I'm very excited, so I'm just going to break me off a chunk of this, and I thought you might like to see it too. So here's my sparkly pumpkin. I'm going to be so goodery after this. It's good that I'm not seeing anyone tomorrow. Ooh! So I'm going to break myself a piece of this, chunk it up, and I am going to... Oh god, I'm going to get glitter on the camera. Oh god. Don't drop the camera in the water, LJ, that's not good. I'm going to just crumble my little pumpkin in the bath. And look at that! Booblies! Here they come. I'm just going to switch that around as well. And here's my bubble bath. My pumpkin bubble bath. Oh my god, it smells so good. I am going to enjoy this, and I've put glitter everywhere. I mean, great. Who doesn't want that? Hello, you weren't here earlier.
No, I am now.
Do you notice anything about me? Anything about my skin?
It's stuck to your body.
Well, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look glittery in any way.
Glittery?
Or maybe not, thank God.
No, not at all.
I had a glittery pumpkin.
Oh, this is some sort of callback to something that I haven't seen.
Yeah, you weren't there.
You did some weird glitter
I did
pumpkin
things
explosion.
with pumpkins and glitter.
That didn't sound horrible at all, did it? That sounded perfectly normal.
Yeah, Cloverfield then. How did you feel about it? I explained to everyone how we saw it in New York, and that, you know, we're revisiting it. Is it your first time revisiting it?
It is.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I enjoyed revisiting it, but I think it had problems at the time. I thought there were problems with it at the time. I think looking back, those problems feel more problematic. But it's still an enjoyable enough film, or the concept is strong enough to get it through a lot of the issues I have with the film. But they are still there, and they are quite amplified. I think the found footage angle that always kind of annoyed me. It's something there are ways of filming and getting in the action in a way that doesn't have to be found footage or gimmicky, and it did feel, especially for the first 20 minutes before anything starts to happen in this film, that it's really not fun to watch.
So it has got flaws, some that you've mentioned. However, I feel like I can forgive this film a lot of its flaws, just because for me, and I could be wrong, but I feel like this is the first, or if not the first, one of the first films to really absolutely nail the kind of generation of capturing, you know, horrific events on as they happen live on with technology that's now available. And it's interesting because it came out just before smartphones and that technology became so prevalent.
Because of that,
it's almost ahead of its time.
Well, I don't know, it feels very much stuck for me in that moment just before.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time to have created this film, because I think if this film had come out and been set a couple of years later, it would feel a lot more natural. But because it's that little bit ahead of its time, it feels very like the whole premise and the convoluted stuff they've come up with as to why they're filming feels very clunky in a way that these days probably wouldn't, because of the whole YouTube era.
That's one of the reasons why the first 20 minutes drags quite a bit.
Yeah, but actually thinking about that, it is irritating, and the characters are irritating for the first 20 minutes, because you're like, why the fuck should I care about this? But actually, I think it's quite astute of them to carry that on for so long, because by the time it gets to the monster action, you're kind of like, thank God, and it's just like a relief from there on out. And I don't know whether that was a conscious decision. I feel like...
Maybe, I don't know. I think a lot of it was improvised throughout. I think the reason they had TJ Miller behind the camera was so that he could throw out a lot of improvised dialogue to sort of patch over.
But other than those flaws, as I say, it has got flaws, but I can forgive it, because I just think it just suffered for being a little bit ahead of its time. And I do like a lot of the stuff it does with the monster, with the 9/11 kind of callbacks of, obviously it's set in New York, which is the same, but the whole dust, the people, you know, when you look at 9/11 footage that was shot by amateur footage, it's very similar.
Yeah, but there were quite a few films after that kind of did evoke that imagery as well, which...
But I like what it did with the monster, in that the monster stuff, it reminded me a lot of the stuff we saw in Godzilla this year, actually. The way you kind of see it coming through the smoke, it's, you know, you don't necessarily, until later on in the film, see a lot of the monster. It's kind of glimpses here and there, and that makes it all the more scary and, you know, mysterious, because you're like, oh, what the hell is this thing, you know? And there's loads of iconic imagery in this film as well. But yeah, it does have flaws, but as I say, I think I can forgive it, because I think it was actually quite pioneering of its day.
Maybe. I don't know if I go that far.
I think it was. I think it was just a little bit ahead of its time, and that means it sticks out a little bit.
Well, it's weird looking back and seeing exactly what camera they used to shoot it with as well. It wasn't obviously a little handy cam. It was some sort of what was at the time top of the range digital camera, which was worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, which you now get a better image for something that you can buy for about £1,000.
Oh, okay.
Even some of the CGI looks.
Yeah,
of
it
the
doesn't
monster,
look.
Of the little creatures.
Sometimes it doesn't look great. Yeah. And also,
it's the sort of things you start picking up on, let's say, on the sort of repeat viewings and stuff.
Yeah.
But
the other thing, why were they looting TV shops when there was a massive Sephora behind them to loot? That's another thing. Just not realistic, is it? But yeah. So yeah, good.
Glad we did it. Enjoyable, yeah.
So tomorrow, it's another one of my choices, and it is 90s comedy horror classic.
I'm already not excited.
Scream! Okay. Which I love, and I watch it pretty much every year, so it's good to watch it as part of this. So yeah, give us a thumbs up if you like Cloverfield. Don't forget to leave a comment to tell us what you think we should be watching as our final film of Popcorn Horror Fest. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.